Hello and welcome to Planet News. Here you will find everything new and exclusive. We hope you will join us by pressing subscribe and then like the video. UN agencies issue urgent call to fund the global emergency supply system to fight COVID-19. The heads of the United Nations major agencies have issued a warning of the risk of COVID-19 to the world's most vulnerable countries. International donors have pledged around a quarter of the $2 billion United States dollars the UN requested in the Global Humanitarian Response Plan for COVID-19 in March. Following is the text of the open letter. Dear donor community, humanity is collectively facing its most daunting challenge since the Second World War. COVID-19 knows no borders, spares no country or continent, and strikes indiscriminately. By all accounts, we are at least 12 months away from a vaccine. In this race against an invisible enemy, all countries must fight back, but not all begin from the same starting line. In countries where the world's most vulnerable need humanitarian aid and supplies to beat back the pandemic, cancelled flights and disrupted supply routes hit disproportionately hard. It is in everyone's interest to stop the virus from spreading unchecked, destroying lives and economies, and continuing to circle around the world. The UN Secretary-General on 25 March launched the COVID-19 Global Humanitarian Response Plan, requesting $2 billion United States dollars to boost the global response. You have been fast and generous in your funding and have extended lifelines to those who were already caught up in war, poverty and the worst effects of climate change, especially at a time when your own populations are suffering from the impact of the virus. Around $550 million has generously been made available to implement the plan so far, with significant additional resources being mobilized and pledged. The Central Emergency Response Fund has also released $95 million to kick-start the COVID-19 response, help contain the spread of the virus, maintain supply chains, and provide assistance and protection to the most vulnerable people, including women and girls, refugees and internally displaced persons. But more needs to be done. To get more deliveries off the ground, the UN World Food Programme is setting up the vital logistics backbone that will help save lives and help halt the spread of the virus. WFP now urgently needs additional funding to establish the necessary transport hubs, charter vessels and provide aircraft for cargo, health workers and other essential staff. All elements of the Global Humanitarian Response Plan are crucial and need continued funding, but without these logistics common services, the global response could stutter to a halt. Now is not the time to slow down. No one is safe until everyone is safe. We, humanitarian organizations from across the world, therefore, call upon you to urgently support this global emergency supply system with an initial $350 million to enable a rapid scale-up of logistics common services. These services, which WFP provides on behalf of the entire global humanitarian community, will enable a swift, efficient response to COVID-19 for the most vulnerable people. Any delay in our action could undermine efforts to bring the pandemic under control. The scale-up of the COVID-19 services includes 1. Establishing, equipping and managing international consolidation hubs and regional staging areas. 2. Air and shipping cargo services. 3. Passenger air services, with the necessary measures to avoid further spreading of the virus. 4. Medical evacuation services for frontline workers. 5. Infrastructure and construction of treatment centers. 6. Real-time remote data collection. 7. Critical investments required to safely deliver operations and services. Whatever it takes, we as humanitarians are determined to meet people's urgent needs. The upscaling of the common services that we all depend on is crucial to enable us to meet these needs. Every human being, in every nation around the world, is facing the same mortal threat. Every step that speeds delivery, saves lives. The COVID-19 pandemic has presented all of humanity with a unique challenge, and only a uniquely global response can halt its forward march. Now is the time to step up together, to prevent needless suffering, and to fulfill the promise of a better future for all. We hope to hear from you soon. Mr. Mark Lowcock, Emergency Relief Coordinator and Undersecretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. Mr. Filippo Grandi, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, United Nations Refugee Agency. Ms. Henrietta H. Fore, Executive Director, United Nations Children's Fund. Mr. David Beasley, Executive Director, United Nations World Food Programme. Mr. Achim Steiner, Administrator, United Nations Development Programme. Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, Director General, United Nations World Health Organization. Mr. Ku Dongyu, Director General, United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. Mr. Antonio Vitorino, Director General, United Nations International Organization for Migration. Dr. Natalia Kanem, Executive Director, United Nations Population Fund. Ms. Michelle Bachelet, High Commissioner, United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. Mr. Gareth Price-Jones, Executive Secretary, Steering Committee for Humanitarian Response. Mr. Ignacio Packer, Executive Director, International Council of Voluntary Agencies. Mr. Sam Worthington, President and CEO, Interaction. Ms. Cecilia Jimenez Damara, Special Rapporteur on the Human Rights of Internally Displaced Persons, United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. Mr. Jagan Chapagan, Secretary General, International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. You like the video, I share it in the channel, and you share the video with your friends. It is more support for us to develop from ourselves always. Thank you.